My name is Andy Best. My family and I, we live full-time on the road. This is our house. I'm a filmmaker, photographer. I've been on and off the road for the last decade. A lot of different builds, a lot of different variations, but the whole idea for us is I get to go and do projects, but instead of missing the young years of my family, my kids' lives, we have this rig fitted for all the work I can do so that they can exist with me and come on the road so that I can embed myself, stay longer, watch the light, study, but not be without my family. So the whole idea was to have a mobile system to get farther, stay out longer, to do better work.
So it's you, 2 kids, and a dog.
Yeah, so in our rig we have my 4-year-old, my almost 2-year-old, my wife and I, and a dog. And we used to have 2 other dogs as well, so it was pretty cramped. But we have, so there's 4 of us and a dog. Every inch of space is accounted for, and everything has a space and a place. And it's really the only way that this actual system can work. So we have a bunch of stuff. Like in the front, we have, the dog will sit up front, but I have a charging system for all my camera gear. The back, we have a bunch of bins for the kids, for their toys and school books, and seat organizers for long journeys. And inside we have a slew of additional bells and whistles for entertaining the kids, different tools for me to do my job, and all the power we need between several mobile panels for the camper and for my additional charging systems, lithium batteries, mobile lithium batteries that I have for the inside. We're mostly, probably I'd say 80% powered by the sun, and can be off-grid total of however long our groceries last.
Nice.
Yeah.
Take us through the truck. What have you done to kind of get the truck ready? Yeah,
so this truck is a 2016 Tacoma. I got it right off the boat, essentially. I had to beef up the suspension because we're mostly off-grid, getting way off in the middle of nowhere. So I have a 3-inch heavy-duty lift, front and back, old man Emu. And I have airbags with onboard air for the compressor. With the lift, it's a 3-inch lift. I also have armor, rock sliders, skid plates, front bumper, winch. All this stuff that's functional. It's aesthetically pleasing, but it also is all designed for our lifestyle, and we've used it all and had to. You've gotten to precarious spots where we've used the skid plates. It's not just for looks. So literally it's taken us maybe about a year to totally dial in this camper build. So this is a 2020 4-wheel camper pop-up fleet. And the fleet is a 6-foot bed. It pops up to 6'5". It has a full to queen to king slide out bed. I have stove, sink, 2-burner stove, sink, fridge, hot water heater, and furnace, and an outside shower with a 6-gallon hot water heater. So we're pretty dialed as long as we have good weather, but the truck charges the camper if we run out of sun. But we also navigate by our weather apps so that we're not trapped in any too cold of a place, too hot of a place, or any sort of rain. So that way we're comfortable, because I think I exist probably 90% outside most every day, where the girls are probably a good mix of 70% every day. So that being said, rainy days are usually for travel or libraries or town chore day stops, and then we break it up to we sometimes will travel 7 to 8 hours away from storms. I've actually traveled within a week 5 states running from a storm, then turned into it and drove 7 hours through the storm just to navigate to where we can be and exist and be comfortable and not stressed. So it's really a migratory lifestyle.
So you've been through some iterations of different rigs. You feel best with this setup, not towing, not more space, because you're so mobile?
Yeah, so I think, we have had several different builds. We've had a Jeep Commander before the kids that was great with our pod, camper with a rooftop tent, and that was really good. But I wanted a truck because I wanted the back to be a garage. So I went with the Toyota. I was doing work with Toyota, so we swapped, had the camper, and then I used the back as a garage. But then we moved off the road, had our first kid, moved back on the road, and we wanted to have a little bit more nimble of a situation where we still had the amenities of a camper, but we wanted to get further because we didn't want to deal with the parking that a trailer has, the maintenance that it has. So I wanted to even minimize it even more. We do miss the camper now that we have 2 kids. We have our youngest was born while we were living on the road. We was during quarantine, so we got a place and had her. But this is right now I feel like this is the farthest and this is the most I could do to this vehicle and build to where we feel 100% I would say in the seam, because every little thing has been thought through from front to back. I have all of the camera gear I need. We have this electric motorcycle that is for my town runs. I can, if we're parked at a campground, I can go get groceries, or I can go shoot, or I can so that way it gives me transportation when we're all set up. We haven't had that until just a month ago. But that's kind of what this needed to complete it, is a pair of these. And I think with this setup, we've used it to its fullest potential. And I like it because, we're nimble. We have everything we need. There's no excess. We've trimmed all the fat, be it clothes or toys. And it's probably the most dialed I've had it in the last almost 2 years. So
nice. So with the nomadic lifestyle becoming more popular, I feel like, what's some advice from kind of a veteran? You've had multiple settings, multiple things. I feel like people picture it as this freeing lifestyle, which it is, and I know it's a broad question, but how would you kind of sum it up for somebody who's like, oh, that looks cool, maybe I want to try it?
Yeah, I actually get asked this question all the time. Well, there's a lot of things to say to that, but I think the number one piece of advice I would say is because it looks glamorous, and yes, there are upsides, but it's a lot of work, and I think that people aren't sharing those things. It takes us an astronomical amount of work to get to this point, and I think also you have to be ready to you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and I think that's a lot of things that people don't take into account when they set off. And so I would say, if you're thinking about this lifestyle, I would definitely rent a vehicle and plan a trip and go out for a month and just experience it for yourself, because you'll you'll learn quickly. Like, you can only prepare so long until you actually get out there and try it, because it will then quickly teach you what you need to have, what you have too much of, and if you're cut out for it. Because there's so much in between, be it logistics of weather, logistics of water, resources, where do you recharge, where do you shower, how frequently how are you working, where's the service, like, are you spending most of your time fiddling with something and just missing out on everything that you're supposed to be out there for? So if you don't have everything dialed, you're going to be spending half of your day, every single day, chasing your own tail, as opposed to building a system, living minimally, being comfortable with it, and then spending your time out there. So it takes a lot of work to dial it in, and I think it's really important to like cycle through on a bi-monthly basis, going through your stuff to be like, have I touched this in the last 2 months? Gone. So I don't know. I think people really need to test it out first. There's a lot of times where people will email me and say, you've inspired us, we sold it all, and I bought a camera and I'm heading off into the mountains, thank you. I'm like, I really hope that they made the right decision, because there's a lot of times where people have done all that, left, and then they're like, wow, this is way too much work. I thought I'd be taking more showers or whatnot. But
yeah, no, I love the advice on of trying it. I feel like people don't think about that, a little bit of a rental or something.
Yeah, and I always think is like, people also are like, I was thinking about it. You just got to do it. Right. I mean, you'll never have everything. You'll think you have a list, and you'll purchase everything, and you'll spend tons of money, and then you'll go out there and realize that you didn't need half the stuff that you purchased. So really, like, tape off a section of your house, see if you can live in it, pack stuff in there, live in the dimensions for a few days. I think there's all these people in quarantine started saying, wow, I'm spending time with my significant other and my family every day, I'm not used to this, or well, you're going to be even closer in these quarters. So I think there's just a lot of things to take into consideration when you decide to do this. You have to ask yourself why. I mean, are you doing it to keep up with the Joneses? Or are you seeking something to discover in yourself? And that's why I did it. To see what you're like on the other end. You're going to look at water differently. You're going to treat the world differently. You're going to treat people differently. So I think it's really about your why, and then there's a 1,000-page questionnaire that will spit out your vehicle. There's no one thing for everybody, or this is better than that, because really at the end of the day, it'll teach you exactly what you need. And if your fun is in the mountains and hundreds of miles away from nowhere, then you might not be able to pull a trailer. So I think it's just really about dialing in what you want to get out of the whole journey.
Yeah, that's perfect. I love it there. Is the gray water a pan?
No.
Because that just drains out, and then you just throw a bucket under there?
I have a little collapsible bag that, like, in a park.
If you're somewhere, yeah.
And it's like a 5-gallon, and that I hook under and just toss under like that for the hose.
But that's your gray water. I mean, because it's just a sink only, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's how most of these are, right? They don't have the gray water tanks for 4-wheels camper, right? That's what I was reading.
Yeah, no. And so I just have biodegradable soap.
Yeah.
And it's literally just water.
Right. Yeah.
Dishwash.
Right.
Yeah.
And then occasionally Healy, that we'll bathe her in the sink.
Nice. That's awesome.
She loves it.
Yeah.
Do you do an outdoor shower for?
Yeah, right here. And so, again, we'll typically have it all set up. Then I just hang it off here.
Oh, right.
The shower nozzle. and then I put that step here, and then we'll clean the girls, or it reaches over here, and I'll set the girls here and just walk up there, cleaning their legs, and
Awesome.
take off their dirty clothes, and they go up.
Yeah, that's perfect.